Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. I know, ladies and gentlemen, this is my third video of the day, but I had to cover this story because it makes you wonder if governments are just stupid or if they do what they're doing on purpose in order to ill affect the people that they're supposed to represent, or who knows, maybe it's both. But this winter, if this happens right here, what they're proposing, this winter, European nations are going to be freezing. Well, not the government representatives, of course, but the people that they represent. The European Union's misguided energy price cap proposal. A price cap on energy is going to be devastating to the European Union as a whole, as it already is to some countries within the EU that have taken this action. Ladies and gentlemen, what this means is that Europe, who needs gas or oil or any kind of fuel from Russia, they're going to put a price cap on that, telling Russia, hey, listen, you can only sell this to us at this price that we're telling you. What do you think Russia's going to say? We talked about this before, I don't know, probably about a month ago or so when they first came up with this scheme, and I said that it's going to be detrimental to whatever country goes along just to get along. Only 15 years ago, the European Union produced more natural gas than Russia exported. Imagine that, according to the EIA. Repeating past mistakes and maintaining a failed energetic interventionist policy would only worsen what is already a structural disaster. Europe is dying, and I'm not saying that as a good thing, but energy is the economy. Without energy, there is no economy. How are people going to work if there's not an economy? How are they going to afford to keep their homes warm? How are they going to afford to eat and live? Continuing on, the prohibitive cost of electricity and gas in Europe is not a result of market flaws, but a completely unsustainable cost structure where consumers are forced to pay escalating prices, and it's a hidden CO2 tax, subsidies, and other rising regulatory costs. So regulations and taxes are costing Europeans 60% in a tax, all right, because regulations are taxes. It's just you don't see it that way because they don't come out and say it plainly. So for example, if I put a regulation on business A and I say you have to do this and this and this and this in order for you to be able to stay in business, it's going to cost them money to do that. Who do you think they're going to pass those expenses to? To you, the consumers, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly who they're going to pass it to. More than 60% of an average Euro area country household bill is made up of taxes and regulated costs, according to Eurostat. Brussels cannot turn water into wine, and similarly, the European Union cannot cap the price of natural gas and oil. It is almost ironic, but European leaders are spending days debating whether to impose a cap on Russian oil that would be set above the current Urals price and significantly above the 5-year average levels. The only thing that these so-called caps would achieve in a global energy market is to provide a massive subsidy that would then have to be repaid with higher tariffs or taxes afterwards. And wait until you see who is going to benefit from these subsidies, ladies and gentlemen. It's very ironic indeed. They say that in Spain, they already made the horrifying mistakes that led to what was called the tariff deficit, putting a cap on a tariff and passing the difference with the actual price to the following year with added interest charges. Incredible. What the tariff deficit mechanism did was to perpetuate higher tariffs even in periods of low commodity prices. So even as prices were going down in the global market, the tariffs were going higher, keeping the prices high. The proposed gas cap would produce a comparable tariff deficit, but at an enormous level if implemented throughout Europe. So it will produce an enormous level of tariff if implemented throughout Europe, because that deficit is going to be paid by someone, and government doesn't produce anything, so they can't pay it. So they will pay it with your tax dollars, ladies and gentlemen, and they already pay 60% of what they spend on energy in taxes, regulations, or tariffs. It's almost like I said, they're either doing this on purpose, or they're just stupid, or it's both. Additionally, in a globalized and international market, the cap would create enormous arbitrage incentives that would only benefit China. which could continue purchasing cheap Russian commodities and exporting to Europe its more competitive goods. Incredible. So the EU is going to take itself out of the market by putting a cap on energy. And then they're going to buy the Chinese goods that China sells them, that China is energizing with that same energy that they're paying less for now because it's being sold to them cheaper than the cap that they put on it themselves. It's amazing. It's like almost, I don't know. This world is upside down. We must not forget that the natural gas cap in Spain has been a genuine catastrophe. Elevating it to Europe would be worse. According to Enagas data, natural gas demand in Spain soared while it declined in the rest of Europe due to the disguised subsidy that the cap entails. Additionally, the cost of the measure for the country has increased to 13 billion euros, according to the power sector, which all citizens will pay with higher taxes. And this has led to a massive transfer of funds to France, which benefits from purchasing subsidized energy from Spain at a discount price, while Spanish consumers pay the cost in higher bills. It's just a transfer of wealth, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why sanctions don't work. A European gas and oil cap causes no harm to Russia at all. We should have learned by now that through exports to China, India, and other Asian countries, Russia continues to set trade surplus records. An European cap on Russia gas and oil would be a subsidy to China at the expense of the European taxpayers. So what should the European Union do then? Now, this is the solution according to the author. The European Union needs a competitive energy policy that makes use of all available technologies, eliminating, delaying, and placing bureaucratic barriers to investments in supply chain security is a luxury no nation can afford. Use the EU's extraordinary tax receipts from the sale of CO2 emission rights, which are estimated to be more than 20 billion euro in EU for 2022, to lower tariffs to the neediest families. This is not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. They want you to suffer. Remember that they need you to be in dire straits so that you can accept whatever solution they have. They will not help you. So you better help yourself and get prepared now. You still have some time to get prepared. I believe that the coldest months of the year are January, February, and you're going to be in dire straits come when your electric bills go up another 100%. They say that they should reduce the taxes on gasoline and gas oil that are more than 50% on the final price of the least fortunate and small businesses. The same for natural gas, where taxes add up to more than 30% on the tariff. Man, 50% tax on gasoline and 30% tax on natural gas. The most important lesson is that the European Union will not solve an energy crisis created by interventionism and by adding more bureaucracy, legal and regulatory instability, and penalizing with higher taxes those that can invest in energy security. So they penalize those that can actually invest in energy, right? And ESG has a lot to do with this. And then instead of getting the revenue from those that can invest in energy from their output, they go ahead and tax everyone even more. So they're getting more taxes for less, and they're getting less stuff for more money that's coming out of the coffers of the government, i.e. coming out of the pockets of the people. Now, in some of these solutions that I read here, I believe that they should get rid of all of these ridiculous regulations that are keeping energy industries from producing the energy that they can get cheaply. They should go ahead and get rid of the sanctions, because obviously the sanctions are not working as intended, and it's hurting the people more than it is hurting those that were sanctioned. And as far as taxes, I believe that they should reduce their taxes greatly. However, not just for people that can't afford the fuel or the heat or the energy, but for everyone, including corporations, corporations so that the corporation can go out there and create new energy or extract new energy, make more jobs. The economy can be robust again because the economy needs energy in order to operate. So your economy will be robust again, creating even more jobs and giving people an opportunity to actually work and pay for the energy that they are getting at a lesser price, because we now have institutions or corporations that are willing to extract it, even at a lesser price, as long as you get rid of all of these ridiculous carbon credit taxes and all that kind of stuff. I put up 2 videos earlier today. Check them both out. One of them is a cooking video where I tested 4 different salts from Hawaii, and one of them being a salt that I never even knew existed, which is called black coral salt or Hawaiian volcanic salt. And it's actually black, and let me tell you what, came out pretty awesome, so go check it out. I also put a video up early this morning about Tractor Supply and the question that no one's asking. We all know what Tractor Supply has done, if you're in the loop, I guess you can say. However, the question is why? Why are they doing what they are doing? And the answer, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to like it, because I didn't like it. Having said that, again, have a great day. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to every one of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out. Oh, and for those of you that are wondering why I'm wearing my hat today, for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's pretty chilly outside. Hopefully you can see that. But you see it's -4. Outside today, and inside right now it's 60 degrees in the bunker. But I think that for the reason that it's -4 outside, I still feel a little bit chilly. And the second reason, ladies and gentlemen, and I only save this for those of you that stay to the very end, is because I still have bedhead. Have a great day. Love you all. Be safe, and God bless you all.